All right, so I want to go over the listing agreement and basically the listing checklist that you need to have, how to find it, also how to basically get it together and get the listing kind of ready to list. So what I'm going to do, I know I've done other videos kind of similar, but this is going to be more of direct. Okay, I need to prepare for my listing and my listing appointment. So listing appointments, preparing for. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Okay. And I'm gonna make sure I'm recording. Okay, so I'm going to har.com. First things first, I'm going to pull comps for the property or a CMA, comparative market analysis. I have other videos on the CMA, so I'm not going to dive into that. Inner matrix. I'm going to kind of show you how you could pull up the listing using the tax records. So you can kind of search the property, maybe go to solds and see if it's sold before. The furthest you can go back is 999 days. I figured that one out. But if it's not popping up, let me show you another way. So one of my listings is 5923 Old Lodge. So if you can't remember if it's one word or two words, just put in old and see if it comes up. Lodge. I know the address. Less is more. Remember that. And it's like a Google search. So if it was Old Lodge Creek and you put in Old Lodge Drive, it wouldn't come up because it's Old Lodge Drive, not Old Lodge Creek. So just remember that. You can even, I could have just put in, I'll show you criteria 5923 old and it'll still come up. Watch. Boom. So obviously my active listing showed up. There's a reason I pulled this one as my example because I want to show y'all something. But obviously it also pulled up the sold before. So I can get all the information from this. I can click this or this and it'll give me the tax records. Wait a minute, I'm going to show you how to pull it up if it's not on the MLS ever in its life. But real quick, if you go to my listing on, look, I did a drone. That was my drone. I did that. Pretty cool. So if you go to my listing, this would be a good example for you to follow because watch the attachments. I have all the attachments that really could be a great guideline for you to attach. You can attach these attachments when you do your listing. And I have a YouTube video on inputting your listing into HAR. And I show you this. So look, I have the HOA information. You don't have to have that in there, but it's pretty good to have that in there. HOA also gave me the fire, the service companies, the trash numbers. This was all just on their website. I Googled the HOA in Green Forest. I just Googled it and I found the HOA and then I found this. Just a Google search. I already had the title open, or at least this is who I was going to go with or utilize. And all the agents always ask you, what title company? Why not just attach it in the MLS so you don't get 20 texts from agents asking you what title company? Especially maybe you're in a meeting and you can't respond. They already have all this information. I don't need this. Not one agent asked me what title company I was using. Not one, because it's all in here. Seller's disclosures, you actually have to have this loaded up because before they make the offer, they should have a copy of this. They really can't stress this enough. Should already have a copy of the seller's disclosure. Also, if you have the survey, why not? Why not just upload it? What else do you need if you have a survey? The T47. And it has to be notarized and signed by your client or by the seller. Please go to this listing and just check out, or most of my listings under my name, and check out what I've added. MUD, you actually have to have this as well as the seller's disclosures. You have to actually have the MUD. There's nowhere in the contract that states you have so many days to deliver the MUD like the seller's disclosure. They actually have to have it upon presenting an offer. So really they need this upfront, the most upfront as possible, which the only way to do it is to email it to the agent before they make the offer or just post it on HAR. Please go to this listing and check it out. Even if it's already sold, just go under sold and find my listing and check it out. Look, the HOA transfer information. So you're like, well, how much is it to transfer the property, the HOA at closing from the seller to the buyer? Well, I asked my title company that, and she answered me. This is the assistant to the other lady. She answered right there. So now you know how to fill out the HOA mandatory membership in a homeowners association addendum or negotiate it. And then they also did an inspection on the AC. This homeowner gave that to me. That's the best copy he gave me. So that's all I could do. So best I could do, because you do have to disclose any claims, insurance claims that the seller did on the house and any inspections that they did in the last 5 years. It asks all those questions on the seller's disclosure, by the way. So let me go back and show you how to edit those into the listing real quick. I know I have a YouTube video on that, but when you're doing your listing and you add it into the system, I'm going to pick one that I've already added into the system. This one. You go down to manage attachments and you add it in. This is a different listing, sorry, but this is another one that I've got all the information that I could find. So you add, upload, sorry, you describe it. So let's say MUD. That's the water district notice. Choose a file, find it, double click on it. It pops up, then hit upload. And then once you do that, hit save. But I don't need to do that because I don't need to add anymore. So that's another one of my listings. I'll show you, it's actually pending. This one. It's this one here. Go to attachments. I have the seller's disclosure, the foundation. He gave me a foundation document. He repaired the foundation and it gave a warranty as well as the diagram of where the piers were put. It's an inspection report. It's a report. It's not an inspection report, but it's a report. And that's something that has to be disclosed. So why not put it up front? Title company information. This one, I didn't upload the transfer fee information. It wasn't that much, and I knew what it was because I know this listing like the back of my hand. So anyway, so if you are wanting to, let's go back to my computer needs to cooperate here. If you want to figure it out without using the search icon, hit the tax, hit the realist tax. Hit the county. So it's always Harris County's Harris, Texas. It's a little weird, I know, but these are counties. So I've added all these counties in, hit apply. 5-9. Might have to be a little bit more accurate with this one. Lodge Creek, because Harris County is a huge, obviously, county. See, it already came up with 3. Old Lodge. I misspelled it. And it still found it. Old Lodge. I was thinking about that example that I gave you. Oh, my bad. So you're going to check it. It's Old Lodge. It found it even though I totally messed it up. Yeah, that's it. And even grabbed my picture from the MLS. Look, all the information you could want, including legal description, lot number, block number, everything you could want. That's how you could get the information in the subdivision. And to run your CMA, it's in Greenwood Forest. Or look at the legal description, Greenwood Forest. Here's your MUD 622. That's how you fill out the MUD. So let's go to your dot loop and or your contracts form, and let's figure out how we can I'm just signing into my contracts real quick. Again, y'all won't have this one. You'll have your just primary one because I'm a mentor. I have two different ones. So I'm going to add a loop right here. I need an example. I'll just redo mine. Old Lodge. It will come up. If it doesn't, you can just type in the, it should use at least Google Maps to come up. So it should come up with something, but if not, you don't have to choose the icon down below. Just type in the address and hit next or continue. Loop template, representing the seller. This is a listing, remember? You don't need a photo. Should already give you the view loop. Should already give you everything. Here's a DA checklist and the DA form. I like using the newer DA form, and I want another checklist that actually is provided through the TAR. It's either TAR or Trek, I forget. Let me find it. I'm going to hit add folder, templates. Go down all the way to the bottom, second to the bottom, hit Texas Realtor Interactive Documents. Just trust me on this one. I'm going to hit listing check. Residential listing check is TRX 1415. If you are searching it through a different platform, please search TRX 1415. I'm going to copy and I'm going to hit OK. There's one more form that I would like to add. It's our new DA form that we use now. Again, scroll down second to the bottom, Texas Interactive Documents. That's like our master file, by the way. That's why I'm not bothering with the other ones. DA. No, it's not coming up in this one. That's because this is a United Real Estate or Texas United exclusive. So this one you might have to go to Texas United Realty Master. It's the top one. DA. This was updated, so let me add that one too. Okay, cool. So all these ones I've added here. I'll email these to you. Send me a text or an email. I'll give you my email real quick. Obviously, this is my email signature line. Here's my email and my phone number. I can email these to you as well. So let me go back to my dot loop. So the DA checklist is through Texas United or URE, United Real Estate. So this is our in-house document. We have to follow this checklist. Even I do. Everybody at the office does. So if you're representing the seller, you have to have a Texas United DA form, which is how we get paid, or it's how it's dispersed. It's called a disbursement agreement. The broker signs that, not me. They sign that after they review all the rest of your file. But first, I have to review it within 1 day of your option period expiring. I like to say before your option period expires so I can catch any boo-boos. I also like to review your files or your contracts before the listing agreement or the contracts, before your seller or buyer puts their ink to it or e-signature to it. Because if there's a mistake, I need to fix it right away, or you need to fix it, but I need to help you. But to review your final package, once everybody's signed and it's all executed, I need to review it once the listing agreement is signed by you and the seller. And then I need to review the whole package within your option period. That includes buying side too and selling side. So we're doing a listing right now in this video. So the seller, you need the listing agreement, obviously. That's the executed contract comes later once you get an accepted contract. Information about brokerage services, that should be a no-brainer. Or HOA addendum, if that's your mandatory membership in a homeowners association. Your MUD, which is your municipality water, I'll show it to you, your water municipal utility district. On-site sewer facility, if it has a septic system, obviously your seller's disclosure. Lead-based paint, if it's prior to 1978, third-party financing, seller financing addendum. These go when your buyer has made an offer on your property and y'all have accepted it. Receipt of earnest money comes from the title company, and that needs to be in your file within 72 hours of executed contract. That's when the buyer has delivered the earnest money to the title company. Wire fraud, yes, your seller needs to sign that too, because there's a big wire fraud going on. And if it's in a public improvement district, that needs to be signed if it is in a PID. You can ask me more about that later. Does all this need to be in the file? Yes, to complete the file. Unless it doesn't have like a septic system, then you wouldn't need the on-site sewer. If it's not in a MUD, you wouldn't need the MUD. Most properties are in a MUD. So if it's not in an HOA, then you wouldn't need the HOA addendum, but most properties are in an HOA. I need to see this whole file and make sure you check it off one by one. Because if it's in an HOA and that's not in your file package, I'm sorry, but that's not an excuse. It's in your checklist. We need it. Now, why? Because it's very important. Because if you missed it and the buyers and the sellers didn't sign it, but you have an executed contract, there's a big boo-boo because there's negotiable stuff in that homeowners association addendum. I'll show you. Let me get out of this. There's all your files that you need. I showed you how to search for it. If you can't find it in here, but information about on-site sewer. Where's your addendum for mandatory and that's your HOA addendum right here. I'm looking for your MUD. Municipal. I don't know why they don't have that in there, but let me add that then. Templates, again, second to the bottom. It's called water district, municipal multi-residential lease. Why is it coming up? Ooh. I know it's a HAR form, so search the bottom one. It's going to ask you for your HAR public ID. District. Notice a purchase property. Yeah, there it is. Notice to purchase a property in a water district. I don't know why it wouldn't come up, but I put in district, DIS. Copy. Okay. There it is. This has to be, this will be another class on how to fill that out, but your seller needs to sign and sign this. So DA checklist. Now here's another, this one, TXR 1415. This is not a Texas United. This is a Texas real estate form, which is very good. Very good, I might add, to have, because it says, or do you have all the forms, information to get from the seller, information to ask the seller, like do you have a survey? I'll send this to you. You need to, if you just send me an email or a text, you really need to, or search, it's a Texas Realtors form, residential listing checklist. This is great. It even talks about a key box you need your, does it say sign? Well, you need your yard sign. Very good guide. TXR 1415. You could search TXR 1415. So when you're getting ready for a listing appointment, that's a great guide to have. You could go ahead and bring a copy of a blank seller's disclosures and the MUD. Fill out the MUD, obviously, but blank seller's disclosure. The MUD they can e-sign pretty easily. The seller's disclosure is hard because they actually need to be the ones that fill it out. So you at least need to bring your checklist, your DA checklist, your DA that's signed by your broker once I've reviewed your file and they've reviewed your file, and it's signed by our broker, not by me. I like the new DA because it's a lot easier to fill out. It's basically asks for it's simple information. And then the total agent is what you get after everybody else takes their cut. But all this won't be filled out. This is just you as a you're under the mentorship. So this goes to TUR or United. And then this goes to me. My name would be typed into here as your mentor. And then you do the math, minus 15%, minus 15%, and then you do the math, you get the rest after the sales price is here. And then the total commission. Pretty easy to fill out. It's pretty much a no-brainer. So follow the DA checklist, and then also, so here's what I would print out. The DA checklist, the residential TXR 1415. You go ahead and take the MUD and the seller's disclosure. Hit download. And then all this you can just print out and save it, and save it to your laptop then, or your computer, but hit print because there's your checklist. And then here's your seller's disclosures for them to fill out and sign. Remember, the signatures are kind of weird places. Like this is on the second to last page, and there's always an initial at the bottom. And then the last page is just for the buyer. So don't let them sign super fast, because almost all of them sign this line here because they always think it's the last page, but it's not. This is for the buyer. And then they need to initial just here. Again, buyer, but seller initial here. So that's really it for now. You can get that going. There's a YouTube video on a CMA. You can follow that as well.